Welcome. It's another day of Navaratri. No, it's not. Oh my gosh. Look how easy it is to get stuck in a pattern. And that's one of the things we'll be talking about today in our Bhagavad Gita Sadhana is our patterns and what do we do about them. Oh, let's jump right in, shall we? We're going to do some chanting. Chapter, where did it go? 11, verses 41 and 42. And as you may get ready, just as a recap, in chapter 11 of the Gita, Arjun asks his best friend, Krishna, to reveal himself truly, share everything, the deepest, the darkest, the lightest. And Krishna, out of love for his friend, obliges. Now remember that this can be read in many ways, and one of the ways I find it most helpful to be read is as symbolic. Arjun represents our limited sense of self, our time-bound self that fears death, that fears that we're doing the wrong thing often. And Krishna is our self with a capital S. So Arjun would be like the small s self, but Krishna is the big S self. He is the true core of you, the true core of everything. And Krishna is revealing what exactly we are at the core. Closer than the breath, it's sometimes called. What you are, what's closer to you than your own breath? Your real identity. Krishna identifies with that identity, where Arjun identifies with his limited, conditioned identity. So when Krishna reveals all of this, his power, his splendor, everything he contains, Arjun, the great warrior, almost collapses with fear. And one of the things that he says to Krishna is very telling. And we're going to look at that in verses 11:41 and 11:42. Okay. This is Arjun talking to his friend Krishna. Whatever I said, audaciously thinking of you as a friend from negligence or from affection, calling you hey Krishna cousin or friend in ignorance of this your greatness. And if in jest I was insulting to you, while playing, while resting, sitting, or eating, alone or in public, infallible one, I beg your forgiveness for all that, Krishna. So out of guilt or fear, shame, Arjun, upon seeing the true greatness of his modest friend, says, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think about that. Many spiritual or religious traditions say that after you die, you get to meet the divinity. And like in the one I was raised in, Catholicism, you have to go stand before St. Peter, who says, okay, heaven or no, hell for you. I'm sure he uses more flowery language than that. But I always thought of it from my own perspective as a time when you go see St. Peter and you're standing there and he's looking at you. And if he gets a frown on his face, you go, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean it. Ah. In this case, though, Arjun has the luxury of not being too late. He sees this wonderfulness and He's like, oh my gosh, anyway, I found fault with you. I apologize sincerely. And I find it interesting that, all the synchronicities as we go through these chapters, today being Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, an extremely sacred holiday, asking for forgiveness. And something that strikes me as reading this is, if we do read it symbolically, who is Arjuna asking for the ultimate forgiveness from? Himself. And then I thought, yeah, I carry around some guilt, some shame. And I think, if only the people that I feel like I've wronged would forgive me, maybe I need to reach out to them or express to them how wrong I felt I was over the years. And then I realized, and with the help of my partner, thank you, that some of it just might be in my own head. What I think I've done is not perhaps as bad as I've thought. And that this is not to minimize anything serious, but things like, I get so upset when I make spelling errors in texts, for example, or an autocorrects my text messages. And I want to say, please forgive, I'm like, make sure to send a correction. I'm so sorry. And that might be extreme. And what I'm saying here is, those people I text and make a mistake can forgive me all they want, but who do I really need forgiveness from? Myself. When I was growing up, I saw that there were situations where if I made a mistake, it could cost me dearly. My safety, my well-being, even my perceived love from other people. And apologizing was a way to make sure I got what I needed as a very young child. But it's really all about the forgiveness I seek. The real forgiveness I seek has to come from myself. I could say more about that, but this is not a therapy session for me. It's about a universal truth. And I'd love you to think about how you maybe talk down to yourself with a capital S, when yourself reveals itself like it's a great talent that you have, a special gift, a unique way of looking at things, and you go, I have to shut that up because it doesn't fit in with what other people want from me, what I want for myself, what my ego thinks, what my ego wants. Every time you say something harsh about yourself, every time you do something to harm yourself, even if it's little, just a little thing, we need forgiveness from that. Ultimately, when we forgive ourselves truly and deeply, the world changes around us. It does. It does. So today I'm going to encourage you to notice, how do you talk down to yourself? And can you forgive yourself? For example, as we start doing our physical practice, I know so many people, sometimes when they do poses, they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Today I'm stiff, or oh, my bad knee, my bad shoulder. It's like, can we be gentler with ourselves? As you do your pose, are you gentle with yourself? Are you accepting of who you are today and being kind, being loving to yourself, forgiving yourself for any perceived faults, like, gee, I can't stand on one foot for more than a couple seconds. In the grand scheme of things, consider how that fits into the pain or lack of pain in the world. And we'll do this amongst some remnants from Navratri last night. Yay, mums. We had a big fire. Switch sides. It looked like I was standing in the fire pit. I was the offering. How cool. It's hard to believe it's the last Navratri of this yearly practice. It really is. Wow. Okay, time to contemplate. And today, I do invite you to contemplate how you are harsh with or disrespectful to yourself. Can you offer yourself sincere apology and find forgiveness of yourself? All in 5 minutes or less. We better start. Welcome back. I'm going to have to watch this video because a chipmunk ran around, was running around here. I don't know if we can see it or not, but that chipmunk gave me good feedback that I was being still. Thank you. And thank you all for participating. And today's practice especially goes to Cathy, Linda, Jesse, and all those honoring Yom Kippur. You may have missed us for Navratri, but we have other things coming up. See the links below. We try to have a variety of programs, including free and by donation. So please check us out or keep coming back, because who knows what we'll talk about tomorrow. Until then.